We'll get started here in just a few minutes. We've still got some people coming in.
She's gonna work on it until 11.
All right, good morning. We'll go ahead and get started. Welcome everybody to our June meeting. I wanted to say I've been here for officially 6 months now. And some days it feels like 6 days and some days it feels like 6 years. So thanks for hanging in there with me as I learn and figure out how everything works around here. This morning, we have a presentation from a couple of our community partners at MOXA. And so we'll go ahead and dive into their presentation and then we'll head into our updates, any discussion we have, and community announcements. So we'll get started. I'm going to pull up their presentation and share it on Zoom. So that'll take me just a second as I navigate. So, hold on just a second here. Present.
I want to be. How's that? Oh, I forget that. Yeah, I had a last time that you can see up there. Oh. When anyone see what shirt I am.
All right, go ahead and get started, ladies. Introduce yourselves, of course.
Forget MOXA. Well, we'll go forget MOXA. We'll talk a little bit more about that, but I'm the community prevention coordinator.
Hey, I'm Maddie Dumble. Pronounce they, them. I'm a prevention specialist at MOXA, and this is my supervisor. So.
MOXA. Okay, wow. No, so we are the Rape Crisis Center in the KC metro area, but we provide services also outside of to talk to you about today. But just a little overview, those are that you can see the map. We have our crisis line. It's manned by MOXA staff and volunteers 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. So if you or somebody you know needs support, have them call that line. We also do advocacy services, counseling, legal assistance, for victims of sexual violence, and then education and prevention services. But we're going to hear today to talk to you about prevention. What do we do? So in 2004, we created the WICO SAP. It's the Sexual Assault Prevention Coalition. Now we kind of work on violence prevention overall, not just violence, but that is a coalition, a community-based coalition made up of community partners, residents, and UG partners. What we focus on with that coalition is improving neighborhood connectedness, which is what we're going to talk to you guys about today. Also include improving environmental factors that either make your neighborhood safe, and then also addressing harmful social norms around violence. CHIP, the Community Health Improvement Plan, which you all are familiar with if you were here last time and heard Hannah Connor from the UG talk about the CHOP Community Health Assessment. That's a part of the Community Health Improvement Plan, the CHIP. So we alongside Thrive are the violence prevention leads CHIP. So we've been working, like I said, with the UG the last 6 years in that work. In the 2017 was the development, started in 2018. If you're not familiar, there's areas of focus for the CHIP, which is healthcare access, safe jobs and education, and cross lines, vibrant health, and So if you're interested, meeting always on the second Thursday, quarterly, so July, and then we had it in April, and then would it be September? But July 13th is our next one. It's at 9 a.m. It's on Zoom currently. We can send you the link if you're interested. Our emails will be at the end of the presentation. But within that SAP coalition, we have two subcommittees that we run. So we're here today to talk to you about SEPTED, which is crime. But we have that subcommittee monthly, and it's on the second Thursday of the month.
Audio is not great.
Should I? Okay, so there you go.
Yeah, just like.
I'll hear better. Sorry, we'll just check. Oh, wait.
Is audio better now?
It seems to be a bit better. It just cuts in and out every few sentences.
Yeah, I think you should lean into it.
Just lean in, just really lean in.
Or you're welcome to pick it up like a microphone.
Yeah, I can do that. Yeah, hopefully this is better. So anyways, we have those quarterly SAP meetings, but like I said, we have two subcommittees within the SAP coalition. One is SEPTED, which Livable Neighborhoods is a part of, and that meets monthly. So it's also on the second Thursday of the month. So the reason it says August is because the SAP will be in place of the July's SEPTED meeting. And then we also have monthly norms change work, which we're doing some really cool work with youth at Young Women on the Move with some violence prevention work around norms change. But that's always on the fourth Tuesday of the month, which the next one is July 25th. But like I said, we're here today to talk about SEPTED, which is crime prevention through environmental design, and how you all can get involved through your neighborhood associations or as residents. But I wanted to give you kind of an overview of some of the other work we do. Great. Any questions? We can pause for questions for a second if you have any questions right now.
So community by design, this is our SEPTED toolkit, kind of like branded community by design, because communities first. When we're designing, we want to think about community. When we're doing crime prevention through environmental design or SEPTED, community first. And this is going to be kind of an overview of what our neighborhood safety toolkit looks like, its uses, and how we put it together. What is SEPTED? It's a way to make our community more welcoming, keeping it safely in mind when you're thinking about places and spaces you share with your neighbors. There are 5 SEPTED principles, as you can see here. Whenever we work in neighborhoods, we like a 6th. We like to split up the social management into 2 groups because we understand communities are so important. We really want to expand on those ideas. And yeah, so 5 principles, and we'll go over them in some depth. I just like this graphic. Can I see others? Can others see me? This is like natural surveillance. Like, are your blinds open? Do you keep your porch light on at night so people walking by have more visual? Do your street lights work? Cafes, you think about like they have bench seating in front of windows. It's free natural surveillance. Just people existing in spaces can help survey, and this keeps people safer. Do I know where to go? This is natural access control. This is like the way sidewalks are designed to keep people out of streets. You might keep people from using alleyways with like little fences. And this is just, do I know where to go? It's that simple. What is a space for? I'll have a great example of this actually, but if you have, like during COVID, think about all those patio spaces that popped out on the sidewalks. Now it just looks like chairs on a sidewalk, but back then we had territorial reinforcement with little barriers, and things made sense because it was temporary, but it was territorial reinforcement. Is this space maintained? Space management. This is how you can tell if like people care about their neighborhood. Are bushes overgrown? Are trees trimmed? Are there places and areas of concealment in which people could just hide behind things and commit acts of violence potentially? You're great. Shapes are great. Is my neighborhood connected? And is there a sense of community? So we really feel that neighborhood being connected and sense of community are different things. Is my neighborhood connected? Are there social events? Do things happen? Can I attend them? Versus, does my neighborhood collectively embrace each other as a community? Now we go. So how could SEPTED benefit your community? It creates those opportunities for you to interact with your neighbors. Like if y'all do a walking assessment with your neighborhood group, it's a chance to meet new people. It's a chance to get people to invest in their space. It improves a sense of safety for fewer acts of victimization and reduces abnormal users of spaces. And new prevention and problem solving skills. Our kids have great just resources or tips. It's just cool knowledge. And enhances knowledge of local government agencies and resources. We know about a great one if we're here today. All right, so can I see others? Can others see me? People just feel safer when they can see people. If you're in a space and you feel like people are coming out of everywhere because trees are overgrown or bushes are overgrown, I've been startled in public before. It's not the best feeling in the world. So trimming those, improving lighting, either by like adding streetlights or fixing streetlights, turning on your porch light, and encouraging people in your neighborhood to look out for each other. It's easy natural surveillance. And I'm going to pop up an example next. And let's talk about how we could improve this situation. Any ideas?
Trim the tree.
Trim the tree for sure. Absolutely.
The simple answer is the right.
And what you can't see is there's actually a bush there too, because the tree has just grown into it and it's like its own entity. It's pretty great. Someone could hide behind there. If someone wanted to break into that car, there's a nice concealment so they can. Next picture, please. This is what they did with it. They lifted everything up so you can see clearly through that parking lot. They put rocks there to deter people from creating a path through there. And it's a great example of natural surveillance. It's an open area you can see through now. Do you want to know where to go? Access control. People feel more secure when they know how to get around. This is just true. If you're out at a new park and you're like, I don't know where the trailhead is, you're either walking through the woods, you can get lost, or you might, just literally skip out. Like, I'm not going to go into a park if it doesn't feel safe. So clear markings, entries and exits, it helps deter accidents and violence. And we're going to do another example. All right. So, there's a clear sidewalk here, but there's obviously like lack of visibility because of cars. There are no visible crosswalks and the windows aren't open. What are ways we could potentially improve this space? As someone, exactly. So what we're going to do is we're going to push parking a little further back. We're going to push pedestrians into the building. And we're going to create like a barrier between the two. Yeah, so there's more visibility for the street, the parkers, and the walkers. What is the space for? So you really want to identify public and private spaces. If you're one of those people like me whose yard just kind of continues into the sidewalk space, sometimes people just walk their dogs through because it looks like it's not my yard, which is fine. But if it happens at 3 a.m., I'm like, why is this person in my yard right now? So what is the space for? Territorial reinforcement. It encourages positive uses of space. So instead of people just hanging out in potentially your yard, you've got a fence there and people aren't hanging out there with their dogs at 3 a.m. And let's do another one. Okay, so this is actually outside of a cafe. This space is for people to hang out. They get their coffee, they enter in this alley. But because there's no clear definition, no signs, nothing, people just use it, traverse it, and there's a lot of abnormal users to the space that could, there were violent incidents here. So what are ways we can make and highlight a cafe space here? Signs. Think about COVID. What did they do with tables? Right into the alley, right? Let's check it out. Beautiful. There's lighting. It's clearly a space that's used for something. And yeah, territorial reinforcement at its finest. They even covered the HVAC. I miss that. That's cute. We have a couple, but they're dated. We just need to go through and pick up pictures. Do you have good examples?
Yeah, we don't.
I know I saw the strawberry.
Yes.
Curious.
Oh, you saw that? Yeah. So we have some pictures and I drove through and I'm like, some of these are dated. I need better examples, but that's definitely on my list of things to do to update my presentation.
They're good examples.
Let us know if you know of some good examples so we can go.
Yeah. All right. Is this space maintained? So maintenance can cost money. This is one of those things that it either costs time or it costs money, and time is money. So people are less likely to engage in unsafe behavior when it's clear someone cares about a space. This could be as simple as cleaning up a community tag that's on your fence, on someone else's, stop signs. You can ask the city to do that. In our resource kit, we've got numbers you can call. We're working on routing those better with the UG so that something actually gets reported and done. But you could host neighborhood cleanups. If you're part of a neighborhood group, neighborhood cleanups are a good way to start with cleaning up everyone's lots. UG, graffiti again, and offer to help neighbors who need like extra help. Like think older crowds, maybe younger kids, like, hey, you're younger, you don't have a weed eater, want to borrow mine? So we'll do another example. Oh, that's a fuzzy pic. It wasn't fuzzy on my computer, I promise. But as you can see, at least kind of, these bushes are very overgrown, like tree limb just fallen. You've got windows covered by trees. It doesn't look like a space you want to approach. It's, yeah, like this is a government building I have to go to, right? Next picture. We beautified it. We've put bushes that you can't as easily conceal. You've got these little under 2-inch bushes. No one's hiding behind that. Like I would see a body, right? And the other picture, you can see that they've moved and trimmed that tree away from the building. They added a fence for territorial reinforcement. This keeps people from just like walking straight through. Like movie theaters over there. I could cut through and get there faster, right? Yeah. Is my neighborhood connected? Is there a sense of community? SEPTED, it's more than physical changes. It's the best safety and defenses in communities is social connectedness. If you know your neighbors know you, you're more likely to look out for each other. You can save money when you go out of town because you're like, hey, can you watch my dog? This is my favorite example. It encourages positive outlooks and behaviors. Having ownership of your community helps deter crime. Like you've got more people just out walking. Hey, neighbor, everybody knows each other there. So you know if someone is like in the space that isn't normally there. So that's why we really drive home the community and we want to engage in our SEPTED method with communities. Issue?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So that's the information on SEPTED, a very brief, but relatively brief information on SEPTED, but kind of how can we get this information out to people, right? So I'm going to talk to you all about a few different ways that you can get involved or you can help get your neighbors involved. So the one is that we developed this toolkit, right? So community by design. And it basically allows you to go through and kind of do an assessment on your own or with us of your own neighborhood utilizing these SEPTED principles. Okay, next. So basically throughout it, each guide or principle that Maddie talked about has an assessment tool alongside it. So it explains what the principle is. It asks some questions, basically from like 5 to 10 questions on that principle to get you thinking, right? Like questions that Maddie kind of asked you all thinking about it, but in the assessment form. So like for, do I know where to go? Are street signs clear and easy to read? Can I tell where to walk, bike, use wheelchair or drive? And then that just kind of gets you thinking. So next. So then there's also solutions. So it's really like the tool is to get you thinking about the different principles and what it looks like in your space. But then also there's solutions associated with it, right? So we on each, and it's, I can just, well, can you just show? Yeah, thank you. Yeah, just like one of the.
Okay, all right, 6. Don't look at me.
Perfect. Yeah. So, so sorry for hybrid, but yeah. So we've got the assessment and the questions here. We've got some notes that you can jot down notes from your neighborhood or your thoughts. And then we have solutions for each like guideline, each principle. And it's kind of like, you know, contact like this for more information on how to contact neighborhood groups and in BRs, see page 24. And so then at the end, okay. Well, no, it's okay. Well, we just added that. No, it's okay. But then at the end, we're going to talk about this too, but at the end, there's a resource guide, right? And so those pages correspond to information about livable neighborhoods, information about 311, QR codes for different youth resources and things like that. And so we're always trying to make it more comprehensive. I won't say that it is fully exhaustive. If you ever have like ideas or things to add, let us know. But we definitely are we tried to like do our best to give solutions so that anybody who has this toolkit can you do it on their own kind of thing, right? They can do it alongside us and we can help, but also start thinking about their space and how it contributes to a safer environment on their own, right? So what else can you do aside from just like going through the toolkit or listening to us today? You can also partner with us, right? And so there's like additional opportunities for neighborhood associations or just groups of residents. And so basically what we could do is we would meet, how this kind of graph works is there's different step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and there's a 6th one on the next one. But the dark blue are things that we would do together at like a pre-implementation meeting. So first step would be to plan a presentation like this. So we can come to your neighborhood association meeting or any sort of resident, get together, even if there's not a neighborhood association. But if you all want to have us come and talk in your neighborhood about these principles, we can plan that presentation. And we also have materials in order to recruit other residents, like door hangers, where we can put like the date and time of that presentation, flyers, different things like that. We're actually developing yard signs at the moment to get additional residents to come to get this information and think about the space, right? So then the step 2 would be, we have a pre-presentation survey that kind of gets to, so you can we can figure out where everyone is at currently, like the information that people have. So then we can kind of look to see what that information has been gained, but also what they care, what they feel, what those individuals feel about their neighborhood in its current state. Then we would do our presentation. And then the orange is the neighborhood group implementation. And so the step 4 is the toolkit implementation. That's why I said this can be used on your own. Like it's designed and so that people can do it on their own, but you can also do it as a group, walking through like a walking assessment. Like really, that's the best way to utilize it. It's actually like being outdoors in your space, looking around, right? And so you all can do that, but we can also help. Step 5, we have a post-implementation survey and follow-up. And so we can always share that information with you all in terms of like what the residents or your neighborhood, your neighbors learned. And then next slide. So then after that, a community by design project. So we want to share this information because we really do believe that like thinking about your environment and getting more connected lends itself to a safer environment and safer neighbors and, free from violence, creating communities free from violence. And so we want to share the information, but we also want to support you all in doing your own project, whether that be a neighborhood cleanup or a park rejuvenation kind of project, things that like, or even getting you connected to trying to help you get connected to grants or different resources in the community to help with like individual maintenance, because it is, like Maddie said, costly to do upkeep on your own property. And so giving that information out to the residents. So we really would like to provide support for you all to do your own project, like kind of SEPTED community by design project. And how we can support is we can establish like regular follow-ups as needed with the neighborhood groups, provide referrals like I mentioned, and then assist with that project development if applicable, if individuals are interested in doing one. Next slide. And this is, so this is an example. I kind of had put the thing in the wrong space, but this is an example of the resources page on the toolkit. And so we talk about livable neighborhoods, Board of Commissioners to contact, and the neighborhood groups map and NBRs. So I think that's all.
This is my favorite one.
The livable neighborhoods, I know. So this is kind of, we've already kind of talked about that a little bit, like partner with us. How can you help? If you're interested, talk to us, kind of think about how your expertise, how you can lend a part, because the reality is violence prevention is tough, and we're going to be inching towards it, and we all have to work together in order to do that. And so that's what we want to do, is just partner and get the word out and figure out how we can all make our neighborhood safer. Any questions?
I do want to, oh yeah, please. Did you bring?
So we did. We only have 3 at the moment, but we do have a PDF that I can send out to absolutely anyone. I just need an email, and I would love to send out every single person a kit.
Yeah,
We have more in our office.
Oh my gosh, thank you.
Yeah, we're
So we-
in the middle of getting them printed right now. So it's We have 3 at the moment. We have 3 at the moment, but we should be getting the new copies sometime this week or early next week. So we can get them to you. But we also, we have a QR code to show you the PDF online. We're working on getting also like a fillable online option so that people don't need to like print or just look at it online. But we also, anyway, like I said, we have Spanish ones as well.
You could let them know, or I could send it to you, the PDF, and you can forward it out.
Okay, yeah, we will, I don't know if they can hear me, but we will send out with our minutes, the PDF of the toolkit. We also have some in our office as well. So I've got Strawberry Hill down that would like one. I'm sure there's lots of messages. Okay, there's lots of messages. So yes, we will send this out to make sure everybody has it. Whether you requested it or not, you'll get it.
Like bring you like copies to your neighborhood association meetings. Even if you don't want a presentation, you can bring the toolkit.
Yeah, perfect. So we can get you hard copies as well. So any other questions for Emily and Maddie? Comments, discussion?
Questions. You guys help with filing the paperwork for some of this stuff because some of the examples work. Absolutely help neighborhoods and help with, keeping communities safe. But it sounded kind of like city ordinance stuff, extending out the drive for the parking, making the sidewalk wider, putting that space between the cars. And I'm pretty sure with the business one, the cafe, and don't they have to file with the city to use that space in that way?
Yeah, I mean, if they don't own the space, obviously, like if it depends on what their property lines are, but if they don't own the space, they would need to. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. We like to give examples. And so it's like, we can help navigate the process. I'm not going to say that we can necessarily help like filling out the paperwork, but we can help navigate the process. A lot of what we do in our work is like build relationships with different UG departments. So then it's kind of like, oh, if we have residents that are asking questions, like we're working a lot with planning to have a lot of discussions about sidewalks, right? Because sidewalks is like a shared responsibility, but like, it's like, okay, well, there might be a shared, but then the maintenance of the sidewalk, who does that cost come down to? So yeah, so that's like a lot of what we're trying to do. And the reality is we can't be experts in all the aspects of this kind of stuff. And so what we're trying to do is build relationships with like UG departments, other resources to be able to hopefully be able to provide the information clearly or help streamline if possible, if that makes sense.
And also,
No, it's okay. No, it's a really good question. And so that's it. I think we're just trying our best because we're like, okay, we believe in these principles. We want to share these principles. We want people to know that these things impact safety, because I don't think a lot of people think about how, that type of reinforcement might impact safety or like a cafe kind of space. And then we want to help individuals kind of navigate, if they want to take steps, how to navigate getting those steps taken care of to the best of our ability.
and also once you report, one of the major things I'm hearing from community members is like, we've done the reporting, we don't know where it went or what's happening with it. So our partnership with the UG Planning Office and Public Works is actually like a lot tighter than it has been. And we can get transparency on projects if like we're working with a neighborhood, which is great, and an update because I filed 311 and gone, where did it go? And I'm sure other people have felt that. So transparency on actual progress too.
Yeah. And it's not just, different, like talking about planning, but also Parks and Rec. They're a really small team, but like, we're trying, there's a lot of different aspects and a lot of different like partners at play here. And so what we're trying to do is gain information so that we can help we can pass the information along and help residents navigate the difficult, because it can be difficult circumstances, but help them navigate it to the best of our ability. Good question. Thank you. Any other questions? Letting us off easy. Okay. Thank you so much.
Keep the mic here, but please let me know if when we're going around and doing announcements, the voice or the sound doesn't come through well. I think trying to pass it around will be tricky, but maybe we could have folks come up here and do their announcements and that will work well. let's go here to updates. I want to thank Maddie and Emily for their presentation. So the updates, we want to try to limit them to 3 minutes or less. Mainly, I want to do that to allow us time to get through everybody's, but also allow time for questions and discussion. Sometimes we feel really rushed through this meeting to try to get everything in on time. But if there's anything that you weren't able to fit into your 3 minutes, feel free to put it in the chat. Feel free to send us an email. Nina does a really good job of sending out very detailed minutes afterwards. So we can do that as well. So we'll go ahead and get started. And please, I think I forgot to introduce myself at the beginning. My name is Kayla. I'm the program coordinator for Livable Neighborhoods. But for anybody, we always have new people joining us. So during your announcements, please introduce yourself before you make your announcement, just so everybody is aware of who you are. So we will start with the mayor's office if there's anybody on from the mayor's office.
This is Anna. I am Mayor Garner's executive assistant, and we have no updates.
All right, thanks, Anna. The Kansas City, Kansas School District, USD 500.
Yes, good morning, everyone. Thank you for having me. I just have a couple of things, and then Francisco has something he wants to share as well. The district is in the process right now. We are conducting a facilities master plan where we are reviewing all of our current schools and looking at the conditions of them. And we are looking for community volunteers to participate in the planning process and basically to ensure that our facilities across the school district are high quality environments for our students and of course our staff and even community members who want to rent out and use our facilities. So we will be hosting a community vision team meeting on Tuesday, July the 11th from 5:30 p.m. to 7 p.m. Now, if anyone in this group is interested in being part of that process, please feel free to reach out to me at edwin.birch@kckps.org. And if Francisco can put my email in the chat, that would be helpful. So any input or any contributions or ideas from the community would be greatly appreciated. We are finalizing the list of people, so we would love to have you if you can be part of that process. I am excited to mention that my team, Communications and Marketing Department, received a total of 14 awards representing 3 different categories from the National School Public Relations Association, also known as NSPRA. NSPRA was established in 1935 and provides school communication training and services to school leaders throughout the United States and Canada. So I just want to take a moment to congratulate my team for their hard work and their achievement. And this gives me an opportunity to give a plug again to go to our newsroom on our website at kckschools.org and just peruse through the numerous stories that are on there talking about the achievements of our students. So again, remember, negativity always has a long shelf life. So if you can take a moment to go and just read about the different things that are taking place in our school district, that would be great. And I'm sure that you would think it would be some valuable information. That's all I have. Francisco?
Thank you, Edwin. Hello to everybody. I'm Francisco Litardo with in the Marketing and Communications Department, specifically with community engagement and government liaison work. And I wanted to share with you today about an event happening on Tuesday, June 27th. It's called a Youth Think Tank, Preventing Violence in Our Schools. And it's presented by the Social Justice and Equity Coalition of Wyandotte County here in Kansas City, Kansas, and also the school district, Kansas City, Kansas Public Schools. I have added a graphic or an attachment to our chat where you can access a digital flyer that will have a registration QR code. It will be important if you plan on attending to use this QR code so that you can register and the event planners have an idea of who's coming, and lunch will be provided. So I'll read a little bit more about what this. We want to invite the youth in the community to join discussions and dialogue about implementing strategies to prevent violence in our overall as our overall goal. 8th grade and high school students will work together to support KCKPS in order to combat violence and mobilize necessary resources to support families. Lunch will be provided, and there will be a dynamic atmosphere. It's not just for youth. If you'd like to attend, just to get a view of what's happening here as the youth work together to try to find solutions for the issues of violence in our community, I think it'd be very instructive and informative for you. So everyone's invited. Please access the link or the graphic that I provided for a QR code so you can register. If you have any questions, please let us know.
Thank you, everyone.
All right, thank you. Now Turner School District.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Lauren Alio. I do public relations for the Turner School District. I just have a couple things today. Last meeting, I mentioned that our Turner Aquatic Center was temporarily closed this summer for renovations. Just want to update that those renovations are going along on our timeline. So we're still looking at an early August opening of the Aquatic Center. I know a lot of our community members utilize that facility. And then also we have some different job openings available at this point in the summer. We have some certified kind of more classroom teaching positions, as well as always, we're looking for bus drivers and custodians, and we have some food services openings as well. So we're just enjoying summer. Hard to believe we're almost halfway through, but that's all I have for today. Thank you.
Thanks, Lauren. Anybody representing the KCK Police Department today? Okay, and then no updates from the Neighborhood Resource Center. Board of Public Utilities.
Hello, everybody. I'm going to be very brief. We're going to go 3 minutes or less. Couple quick things. We get a lot of calls about streetlights, and there's a number of different things that need to happen there. BPU repairs the streetlights. We do the maintenance. We do not determine where they are installed and where they go. So if there's an area you need a street light and want a street light, that would be the request a street light. You need to call 573-5311, 913-573-11. That's Unified Government Public Works. We, BPU, will repair the lights. The best thing to do is call 913-573-9522. Give us the exact location, and all those poles have a yellow tag with a number. If we get the pole number, we can get to it a heck of a lot faster. The last thing I want to tell you, we sent a press release out a while ago, and the BPU Board of Directors is trying to develop a community engagement committee, and they're looking for people to be a community ambassador. Okay, they're still kind of fleshing out the details on what this committee will be doing, but they are currently taking applications. So what I'm going to do, and so this is a committee of about 3 board members. They want to have about 10 people from the community designated as community ambassadors. They'll meet on a quarterly basis. So what I'm going to do is in the chat, I'm going to put a link to our website that has all the information that we have about it, and also the application. And then I'll also put on the chat the details about where people send their applications, and that's at BPU care of Patrice Townsend. And I'll put her contact information on there as well. That's all I have. Have a great rest of the week, and we'll talk soon. Bye.
Thank you. An update from the Sheriff's Department.
Yeah, come back.
All right. Yeah, sure.
Grab the mic.
Yeah, that's probably the best way to do it.
Well, good morning. I'm Michael Croning. I'm the administrative support captain for the sheriff's office, sitting in for the sheriff this morning. So good morning, all. Quick update from the sheriff's office. We just had a great event out at Parkwood Pool on June 3rd. It was a great turnout, and we have another pool event coming up August 5th, also at Parkwood Pool towards the end of the summer. I'd like to point out that we are always hiring not only sworn deputies, but civilian position as well. You can find that at the sheriff's office website or the Unified Government website, or you can contact me directly. 913-573-8071 is my desk number. So always hiring. We have our next hiring event coming up on July 20th. That's going to be at Pearson Community Center. That's where it's always held. Starts at 9 o'clock. You can walk in, just a valid ID, and we can take care of the rest from there. And then to end, once again, like I said, the sheriff's office is always available for those neighborhood groups or individuals or schools for us to come out and speak. We can have a deputy come out that may be in your area, or the sheriff himself or myself. Love to come out and talk to your group at any time. Just reach out to the sheriff's office directly. We'll try to get you taken care of. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, I about skipped the district attorney's office, DA's office.
Hi, good morning, everyone. I'm Jonathan Carter, the PIO here in the DA's office. Nice to see you all again. I will be very brief. We are still hiring like everyone else. So if you know someone, an attorney, we are hiring for those positions, but we're also hiring for administrative positions, plenty of those. So just look on the careers page of the UG website and you will find the jobs that are available here in the office. And we have our community liaison board meeting the 28th. I don't know if it's a Tuesday or Wednesday. I think it's a Tuesday, but if you're interested in joining, we would still love to have you. All you have to do is go to the district attorney's page on the Unified Government's website and fill out the application. We'd love to get you in there. From the last meeting, we had some folks send in applications and we got them on board. So they'll be at our next meeting. And it's an opportunity for you guys to find out what's going on in the office and then also ask questions, because there are times where we'll present something to you guys and get your feedback on what we should do, which way we should proceed on something community related. So we're always open for feedback. So again, just look on the UG website, the district attorney's office for the community liaison board and also the careers page for the different jobs that are available here. And I will put in my email address in the chat because we're still going around, as always, talking to community groups anywhere and everywhere. We love to do it. So if you'd like us to come to your community group meeting and give you an update on the office and give you an opportunity to ask questions. Sometimes you don't want to ask questions in a big giant group, but in your neighborhood group, you may feel more comfortable. Absolutely. Just get in touch with me. I'll put my email in the chat and reach out to me and I'll make it happen for you. And that's what I have unless anyone has any questions.
All right, thank you. KCK Fire Department.
Hi, good morning, Chief Dawson from the Fire Marshal's office. The current events right now, fireworks season is here again. You'll see the tents going up throughout the city. I believe they'll start going up on the 26th. And sales will be from the 29th through July 4th. You can follow the city ordinance and that. I'll have a flyer go out here. I'll attach it to the notes field here so you guys can push it as you need to. At this time, it looks like the grass is kind of green. We're going to go through a little dry period here, so be careful come 4th of July. It looks like we only have one day of rain between now and then in the forecast, if you trust that. So make sure you've got plenty of water to control whatever hot spots you create. I got a safety tip for this month, and I'll actually put something out, I think, in the July meeting for it. Nationally across the board, we're seeing a lot of fires on decks. Any of you that are gardeners or like growing potted plants and stuff, you'll notice over the last probably 7 to 10 years, you go out and you buy topsoil, and it's not really topsoil. It's probably half composted wood chips and other things. So those of you that are smokers that have these things on your decks or on your porches and they dry out and they don't stay wet and you drop a cigarette in them, you're going to start a fire because that's just dry kindling in there. So do not dispose of cigarettes in potted plants. I think last month I was not able to join you all. You may have had some questions about that school fire there at 14th and Metropolitan. That was an incendiary fire. Building was significantly damaged, especially the roof. I don't know if codes, I assume they posted it on Fit by now, but if you or anybody in the community has any tips on that about who they may have seen in the building, feel free to call the tips hotline at 573-5555. And then one last thing, there's a group of us, we're trying to deal with the Wyandotte County Fair traffic issues. If any of you attended the fair last year, or even the year before, and experienced traffic problems and have any comments about that, feel free to send me something. We have to get something locked down here in the very near future so the fair can address that. And with that, if you have any questions, I'll take those. I will put the fireworks PSA there in the chat box.
Dates that are legal for people to set off fireworks.
I'm sorry, I only caught the last half of that.
Do you happen to know what the dates are that are legal for people to set off fireworks?
So in Kansas City, Kansas, it's July 2nd through July 4th from 9 a.m. to 11 p.m. I know I've already heard some going off. We've already had some property damage by some fires, unfortunately. So if you suspect, illegal fireworks, something going on, call 911 and the fire department, police department, sheriff's department, if it's in a park, will respond and see if we can take care of the issue.
Next was Department of Planning and Urban Design, and I saw that Alyssa put some information in the chat that she had to go. Let's see here. Basically, there's more information on the Plan KCK website, ykck.org/Plan KCK about the comprehensive planning process. The 3 UG sites up for redevelopment are undergoing the review process for the RFQ, and hopefully they will announce qualified developers and some subcontractors at the end of July. And you can find more information at ykck.org/redevelopment. Okay, the health department. Is anyone here from the health department? Didn't see anybody. Right, then I guess I'm up. Let me admit this person here. Okay, so for livable neighborhoods, we don't have a ton of things, but a few things that I wanted to mention. We are partnering with Animal Services as well as Great Plains SPCA to host a community pet forum for Kansas City, Kansas residents. That's July 18th. In the meeting room here, we have some flyers over on the table. That's really an opportunity for pet owners to come voice what some of the needs are or what maybe they know some other people might need to be responsible pet owners in Kansas City, Kansas, whether they need assistance with vaccinations, assistance with spay, neuter, maybe they need tie-outs for their animals. Maybe there's issues with affording pet food and they need some support with that. So just an opportunity to come let Animal Services and Great Plains SPCA know what the needs are so that they can try to bring in supports to help pet owners in the area. We've got Night Out Against Crime coming up on August 1st. We are also, and that's at the Kansas City, Kansas Community College in the, what is that place called? Fieldhouse, thank you. And then we are, Mina and I are going to try to put together some events or something for Good Neighbor Day. It's also our September Livable Neighborhoods meeting is September 28th. But it's also National Good Neighbor Day, and we were hoping to maybe do a few events or something leading up to that. It'd be a fun thing to celebrate, a way to get people to get to know their neighbors a little more, a little social prompting. There is a community development workshop that happens every year. This is put on with Center for Neighborhoods on the Kansas City, Missouri side, as well as Community Capital Fund. The date is September 23rd, but the registration hasn't opened yet. So that just mark that on your calendar if that's something you're interested in. And we're also looking at having a Wyandotte County Neighborhood Summit. October 7th, but we don't have any further details at this time, but that's something also in the works. One other thing I wanted to mention, if you haven't looked at it yet, the Kansas City, Kansas Police Department has a new website, and it has some great features on there that I just learned about recently, especially about reporting, obviously, non-emergency things. There's easier ways to find information than on the previous website. So you might check that out if you haven't recently. And a couple more things. We are out of our minor home repair fund. We've spent through that. So we no longer have funds there. We're trying to still match people with community resources, but really there's not that many in the community. So it's really difficult to find people home repair assistance. So if you have ideas or leads on something like that, feel free to reach out. I'm sure there's opportunities out there that we're not aware of. And then finally, most of you know that we do have a Facebook page that we'll often share information on, but we also we have an Instagram account now. So if you want to follow us on Instagram, sometimes we share a little bit different things on each of those platforms. So Instagram, it's at Livable Neighborhoods. And yeah, so check us out on those sites. We try to share information from the UG, from our community partners, any other information that might be relative to and I guess informative to neighborhood work and living in Kansas City, Kansas. So that's all of our Livable Neighborhoods announcements. Now we have actually quite a bit of time for any community announcements or discussion or anything that folks want to bring up. So I will open up the floor to anyone else. Yeah. A pet forum. Good question. Let me grab the flyer and I'll 5:30. Okay, 5:30 to 7:30, and it'll be in this room here at the NRC. Want to introduce yourself?
Yes.
Yeah. It won't stretch quite. So
There we go. Thank you. Good morning. My name is Yolanda Jackson. I am the program coordinator, community liaison, volunteer engagement coordinator with Parks and Recreation. I am new to this role. I'm excited to be here. The first event that I have to share with you all is our Christmas in July event on July the 22nd. Any flyers, any updates, anything that we have to offer as far as events, I'm going to share it with Livable Neighborhoods so they can put it in the newsletter, but I'm excited to be here.
welcome.
Thank you.
We've got Rose online. Rose.
Sorry, took me a minute to find my unmute button. Just wanted to remind everybody that this Saturday, June 24th, is our annual pub crawl, Strawberry Hill Pub Crawl, and we'd sure like everybody to participate. We are trying to raise money for a playground at St. John's Park. It's been an ongoing thing. The price keeps going up. So come on out and support us. If you're not interested in going to the bars, there's lots of great businesses that are sponsoring us too, like Prisman Sausage. We know y'all love that. There's a new business called Hey Sugar. And I went there yesterday. It's fabulous, fabulous ice cream. They have cotton candy and every kind of candy you can think of. So please come support those businesses. And if you want to hang out with a bunch of fun people, buy a ticket, come on down on Saturday. It's from 11 to 5 this Saturday. And Epic Arts is where we'll be, selling tickets and handing out swag bags. So thank you so much.
Thank you. We've got another announcement here.
I'm Pam, excuse me, Pam Blood with Kensington Neighborhood and Shepherd Center, and I'm have my Shepherd Center hat on right now. We are trying to do some strategic planning, Shepherd Center is, for the next 5 years. And if you're not familiar with Shepherd Center, it is not an agency, it's an organization that works with older folks, and in order to give enable them to do meaningful lives. But we need to do some strategic planning for the next 5 years, and we need to have community input. So on July 21st, we're going to have a meeting at Victory Hills Baptist Church at, what is that, 66th and Parallel. And there will be a meal. Donnie Thomas has flyers. And so we really would like to have people of all ages come out, because sooner or later y'all will be an older person, but particularly with ideas of what Shepherd Center needs to be doing for the next 5 years.
Yeah. I see Joanne, go ahead.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. No announcements. I just wanted to introduce myself to the group. Joanne Woody, I'm a new executive director for the Greater Kansas City Northwest Missouri Red Cross. And I'm just working to get to know a little bit more about the communities within our chapter. And I'm very excited about some of the information that I've heard today, and looking forward to getting to know so many great partners that are on this call.
Joanne, nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Right, Linda, I saw your hand next.
Hi, this is Linda Wolford from the West Wyandotte Library in KCK. And just wanted to remind everybody that we are well into our summer reading program for both children and adults. We have all kinds of great prizes. And we also are having a lot of programs this year. I know we're having a petting zoo next week. There's been, let's say, every branch is doing their own thing. So check out your local branch, see what is going on. And if you have young ones that need something to do, take them to the library, because there's always something happening, and we have craft take homes for them, all kinds of activities. So just don't forget the library this summer. We are here waiting for you.
Thank you, Linda. Leslie?
Hi, I'm Leslie Scott. I'm the Digital Inclusion Program Manager for KC Digital Drive. I think longtime attendees will probably know that I'm going to talk about the Affordable Connectivity Program. It's still around, and we're looking for community events that we can go and table at and spread the word about this federal program that provides a $30 discount on internet service every month. In addition, we have a Cut the Cord workshop, and that workshop helps people understand how to use free and low-cost streaming services to lower their cable bill, and also just get access to more options from the libraries, etc. So if you're interested in us coming out to do that workshop, we'd love to do it, as well as we can talk to staff members. If you're doing case management or engaging with the community in any kind of way, we'd love to be able to come out and just inform your staff and bring flyers. We ordered 25,000 of them from the FCC, so we've got plenty, and we're willing to deliver those, as well as just give that overview. So I'll drop my email in the chat, and we will see if we can connect. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else have announcements? Donnie?
This weekend, Saturday, if you want to get some exercise, meet us at 333 Wood Avenue. We'd love to have you. Thank you.
Anybody else? I hustled everybody through their announcements, and we don't have a ton. Well, feel free to reach out if you need anything between now and the next time we chat. We'll get all this information shared out with everybody. We'll also have a recording available. But if you need anything before we get it sent out to everyone, just reach out, and we can get it sent to you as soon as you need it. So sometimes it takes us a little while to get stuff put together, but does anybody else have anything? Last chance. Yep.
We're not being on, but we'll be at the farmer's market, this weekend at the Merck. So I was there last weekend. I won't be there, but one of our coworkers, Tess, will be there. But I was there tabling last weekend and it was a really great event. They had music and, you know, what happened. And the local artist, that was really amazing, selling some prints. And so if you're not familiar with it, every Saturday and through October, just a really great event. So I wanted to plug that.
I will let you all go and reach out if you need anything between now and then, and we will talk later.